Hello there. This is a video to show you how I'm going to alter my corset mock-up. So I'm going to show you what it looks like first. Here is the front, the side, the back, and the other side. So this is my first time making a mock-up for a overbust corset, and as you can see, it needs some adjusting. On the back here, it fits very well at the bottom where there's a nice gap, but at the top it is pretty much closed all the way, so I would like to make the gap even. And also, the top is very flimsy. So, one reason is because the bust does not come up all the way to the top, and I plan on adding a couple grommets and a ribbon on the top, so that'll hold in a little bit, but still kind of gaping. So I'm going to need to take in this seam on both sides a little bit by pinning it. And I also want to make the back have the gap, so I need to take off a little bit from each panel, or just a couple of panels on each side to make that gap. So that's what I plan on doing, so I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So before I do any alterations, I'm going to show you what I did to make the mock-up. I have my pattern pieces here. I got them online and then I altered them, and there's 6 panels for this pattern. And the things that you need to make the pattern and the fabric and to make the mock-up, you need rulers, different types, like this curvy one here. You need measuring tape for yourself, you need a pattern to begin with, or you can make up your own. There's different links for that. And then you need to figure out how to alter the pattern, which is a lot of work. So anyway, here's the mock-up, and it's a very simple one. I used like bed sheet fabric because it's really cheap. I know you're supposed to use better fabric than that for a mock-up, but that's what I use. So I have my bust that I ordered already, so that's what I got to use to put this together. And I put in the boning channels so I can put in some bones. They're unfinished spiral steel. I can't get this one out. Anyways, like the bottom of the bone has the tip on, but the top doesn't, because I don't want it to be cut too short and whatever when I put this actually together. The back here I have reusable grommet panel things, so I just made these and I put laces in them, and I've been reusing them for each of my mock-ups. I just based them onto the appropriate part of the last panel here, so it's where the grommets would be. And then I also have the bones too for this particular corset. So this time when I was making my corset panel, or the boning channels, I decided instead of doing double boning, I'm doing single boning. And also I usually will press open the seams, and each seam will be a double bone, but this time I pressed all the seams to one direction, and I forgot to do the top stitching part, but this was just practice. I figured out that even with the curves I could use one of my bones as a pressing bar, which is just to put this between the seam allowance and the outside fabric while I'm sewing to make even boning channels. And on the first side here that I did, they came out really bad. Like this one's really wobbly and stuff, but this one has multiple seams. And obviously on this side it looks much neater. So obviously practice is good. And other times I haven't put the busks in my mock-ups, which is stupid because it's really hard to try them on and everything without the busks and the bones in them, so I put it in this time. So all I needed was just a little extra flap here so I could sew in the busk. So anyways, my next step is to find out where I need to take in the bust area and which panel or panels I can take in some, like an extra inch I think on each side to make the gap even in the back. So I'm probably going to take it off either here or maybe here where there's a lot of room. These other panels are a little skinny to they still need room for the bones in them. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do next, and I'll show you what my alterations are. So what I've done at the moment is take a section that I want to take in, and I made it dart. So I made a point at about where I thought this was starting to get too close together. So I went over here and then I just made a little dart in here, and so I put about I figured it's a half an inch here. That means there's another half an inch here, so that would equal taking about an inch off on this side. And I did so on this side, so that means I've taken off about 2 inches in theory. I know this fabric is a little bit, I mean, sort of, it's not stretchy, but I mean, it's not couture or anything, so anyway, I tried it on and it did make a nice little gap, so I might do it just a tad more maybe on this seam because there's a little bit of fabric to take in, and then I still have to do the bust. But in the meantime, I'm going to sew up this dart because when I was trying it on, the pins wanted to fall out. One was poking me a little, so I want to sew it up. And after I put in a couple darts, I will try it on again and show you what it looks like. I put in all the darts that I think is necessary now, so I will show you how it fits. Here's the front, the side, the back, the other side. So I put in 3 darts on each side. I have one back here, one right here, and one at the bust. And I also have my little laces at the front to simulate what I will be doing with my real corset. And I think it fits a lot better now. It's obviously not perfect because it's a little pointy at the darts, but I'm going to smooth it out when I transfer these darts to the pattern next. So I'll show you what to do with that. So in order to transfer the darts that you placed into or onto the pattern, you take the corresponding pattern piece to where you made a dart, and you have to carefully line up the pattern where it was with the seams, and then you just have to trace where you place the dart, and then you will have to smooth it out as necessary and cut off the extra amount. So you have to do that with each side of the dart, and then you want to use your various measuring devices to make sure that the patterns will match up so they will be the same length, otherwise it won't work very well. So you got to do that with each dart here. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when I tried this on, I had to take out a couple of the bones here, here, and here, because I had sewn up where the boning channel was. So it was a little collapsed in the front here and stuff like that because it wasn't supported with a bone. Anyway, you want to transfer to the patterns, and then you want to make a whole new mock-up. If you're making this many alterations, you want to make sure that it fits really well before you make your real ones. So I'm going to do that and make my new mock-up and see if it fits really well. So as you can see, I did not make a second mock-up after doing the alterations, I actually ran out of time and I needed to get this corset made, and I had about 5 or 6 days to do it, so I just threw it together and it ended up working out really good. I'm going to do a review on the finished corset in another video, but I just thought I would show you a little bit of it. And yeah, this color isn't exactly right in the video, but it is actually like olive green, so it's very pretty. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.